More than 4,500 years ago, in ancient Egypt, thousands of workers began one of the most ambitious construction projects ever attempted by human civilization. The vast limestone quarries near the Nile River, entire teams worked under the intense sun, carefully planning every movement. This was the beginning of a project that would defy time itself, the construction of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Deep inside the quarry, massive limestone blocks were separated from the rock using simple copper tools, wooden wedges, and controlled force. There were no machines, no modern technology, only human coordination, patience, and precision. Every cut had to be carefully planned because a single mistake could ruin hours or even days of work. Once freed from the rock, each stone block, some weighing several tons, was slowly prepared for transport. Workers placed them onto large wooden sleds, designed to reduce friction and make movement possible across the rough desert terrain. Teams organized themselves with almost military precision, preparing for the next difficult stage. Across the burning sands of the desert, dozens and sometimes hundreds of workers pulled the massive stones using thick ropes. Recent studies suggest that wetting the sand may have helped reduce friction, making the heavy loads easier to move. Still, this was exhausting work, requiring strength, coordination, and endurance under extreme conditions. Not all stones traveled by land. Many were transported along the Nile River, the lifeline of ancient Egypt. Specially designed wooden boats carried the heavy blocks across long distances, using the river's natural flow as an advantage. This water route made it possible to move enormous quantities of stone more efficiently toward Giza. After days or even weeks of travel, the stones finally arrived at the construction site in Giza. Here, an entire city of workers, engineers, and overseers coordinated the largest building effort of its time. The scale of organization was extraordinary, rivaling modern engineering projects. Before construction could begin, the desert floor had to be prepared with extreme precision. Engineers leveled the ground using ropes, water channels, and careful measurement techniques. The goal was simple but critical: create a perfectly stable base that could support a structure meant to last for eternity. The first stones were placed with incredible accuracy, forming the base layers of the pyramid. Each block had to fit perfectly with the next, creating a solid foundation that would support millions of additional stones above it. The shape of something monumental began to emerge from the desert. As construction progressed, the pyramids slowly rose layer by layer. Thousands of workers moved in coordinated teams, constantly lifting, positioning, and adjusting massive stone blocks. What seemed impossible began to take form, one carefully placed stone at a time. To reach higher levels, the Egyptians likely built massive ramps made of earth, mud, and stone. These ramps allowed workers to drag the heavy blocks upward as the pyramid grew in height. The structure became taller, the ramps were continuously extended and modified to match the construction progress. Inside the growing pyramid, complex internal passages and chambers were carefully constructed. These hidden spaces required advanced planning. They had to support the enormous weight of the stone above them. Every internal corridor had a purpose, both structural and symbolic. Once the core structure was complete, the pyramid was covered with smooth, polished white limestone casing stones. Under the sunlight, the surface would have reflected a brilliant glow, making the pyramid visible from great distances. This outer layer represented the final perfection of the monument. After decades of continuous work, one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history was finally completed. The Great Pyramid stood as a symbol of power, knowledge, and unmatched human organization. More than 4,000 years have passed, yet the pyramids still stand today. They remain a silent reminder of what humanity can achieve with vision, discipline, and collective effort structures that have outlived empires and continue to inspire the modern world. Follow Naverse for more amazing facts and give us a like. That really helps so much.